Hello students, A2 Chemistry, chapter is Electrochemistry, lecture number 2. In this lecture we are going to discuss what is the method to determine standard electrode potential, how we can determine standard electrode potential for a given element. Students, please keep in your mind this lecture is linked with our previous lecture, lecture number 1 of this chapter. If you have not watched that lecture, please go back and watch lecture 1 of electrochemistry and then come back to this lecture. Thank you. Okay, what you must remember, the method that is used to determine standard electrode potential of an element, that method is made up of 4 components. What are the 4 components that we must keep in our mind while studying the method, while using the method to determine standard electrode potential? Suppose we are given an element and we want to determine its electrode potential. So first of all, we will have to construct standard half cell of that element. So first component for this method is to construct standard half cell of a given element. Once we have constructed this half cell, we will connect this half cell to high resistance voltmeter, because high resistance voltmeter is used to determine the electrode potential. Now you people also know voltmeter, it has 2 terminals. To complete the circuit and to attach with the other terminal, we always use a reference electrode. What is the reference electrode that we use in chemistry? Standard hydrogen half cell, it is used as a reference electrode. Why it is used as a reference electrode? Because its electrode potential we have assumed equal to 0 volt. Second thing, what is the only purpose of this reference electrode? It is used to complete the external electrical circuit by connecting itself with the second terminal of the voltmeter, because one terminal of the voltmeter, it is connected to the standard half cell. Now the fourth component, it is used to complete the electrical circuit internally. What is the fourth component of this method? The fourth component is the salt bridge. Now what is the description of each of these 4 components? We are going to discuss them in this lecture and in the subsequent lecture. Now first of all, we will learn how to construct standard half cell of any element. Okay students, we are going to start with constructing a standard half cell for the element zinc. How you will start constructing and the half cell for the zinc? First of all, you will take a beaker. In that beaker you will take standard ionic solution of zinc compound. You can take any compound of zinc that must be soluble in water. You can take zinc sulfate, zinc chloride, or if for a given metal you are not sure, you are not certain that which of its compound is soluble in water, the best compound that you can remember, it is nitrate, because nitrates of all the metals, they are soluble in water. So what you can do, you can take 1 mole per dm cube of ionic solution of the element whose half cell you want to construct. Right now we want to construct half cell for the zinc metal. So what we will do, we will take 1 mole per dm cube of zinc ionic solution. Now to complete this half cell, in this solution we will dip in the electrode of the given element. If the given element is a metal, it is not a problem. You can dip in the metal into its ionic solution to make this half cell. But if the given element is a non-metal, then you must remember that we will have to use platinum as an electrode. I will give you the example later on in this lecture, but right now we will focus on this half cell. Now this is the zinc electrode that we have dipped into zinc ionic solution. What happens whenever any element it comes in contact with ions? Two processes start simultaneously. Whenever an element comes in contact with its ions, two processes start simultaneously. One process is the oxidation and other is the reduction. Like in this case, zinc metal, it will lose electron. Loss of electron will result in the formation of zinc ions and electrons. Now zinc ions which are produced during the process of oxidation, they come into the solution. They come into the solution while the electrons, they remain on the zinc plate. So what charge develops? Starts developing on the zinc plate. Zinc plate starts getting negative charge, because electrons, they stay on the plate and the ions, they move into the solution. This process is oxidation. Now what happens? Due to this process, the number of positive zinc ion, it starts increasing into the ionic solution, as a result of which the backward reaction also starts, and the backward reaction is reduction. Initially, the rate of oxidation in this case, it is fast. Why it is fast? Because zinc is a reactive metal, it prefers to undergo oxidation, and rate of reduction is slow initially. A time comes when a dynamic equilibrium is attained. At the dynamic equilibrium, rate of oxidation and reduction becomes equal, but at dynamic equilibrium, one process dominates the other. One process would have taken place to a greater extent than the other. It depends on what? It depends on the nature of element, whether the element is metal or non-metal, and it depends on reactivity of that element, whether that element is more reactive or less reactive. Right now, the example that we are studying, it is zinc. Zinc is a reactive metal. So you know, reactive metals, they prefer to undergo oxidation easily. So in this case, at dynamic equilibrium, which process would be dominating? Oxidation would be dominating. Whenever oxidation dominates, you must remember, oxidation always takes place at anode. Oxidation always takes place at anode. So what charge will develop on this plate? This plate would become negative, because oxidation is dominating. More and more ions are moving towards the solution, and more electrons, they are staying back on the zinc plate. So this is the half cell, that is known as standard half cell for the element zinc. Now some of the students, they might be having some confusion that why a plate becomes negative during the oxidation. I can give you a separate example on the right hand side. You can see that will give you an explanation how metal plate gets negative charge while during oxidation, and if reduction takes place, the plate gets positive charge. Look at this example. If we are having zinc solution in a beaker, and in that beaker if we dip in zinc metal, what can happen? I have told you, during oxidation, zinc atom zinc atom breaks into zinc ion and electron. Zinc atom becomes zinc ion and electrons get separated. Electron is a charge. Charge needs some carrier to retain itself. So where the electrons are retained, electrons are retained on the plate, while the ions, they become free and they move into the solution. That is why you can see the positive ions, the positive charge has built up, has increased in the solution, while the negative charge has built up on the plate. The plate has become negative. So whenever oxidation takes place, always remember, no doubt loss of electrons take place, but electrons is a charge. Electrons, since they represent charge, electrons stay on the metal plate while the ions move into the solution. So during oxidation, plate gets negative charge and the solution becomes more and more positive. As compared to this, if there is an electrode where reduction is dominating, like in this case copper is a less reactive metal. It prefers to undergo reduction instead of oxidation. It cannot lose electron easily. So what happens when we dip in copper plate into copper sulfate solution? Since copper has more tendency to gain electron, so copper ions from the solution, they rush towards the copper plate, and from the copper plate they gain electron and they deposit themselves on the copper plate. When electrons are gained by copper ions from the plate, copper atoms are deposited on the plate. So positive charge, it starts building on the copper plate, while the solution gets more and more negative, why? Because positive ions, they have been deposited on the copper plate, while the negative ions in the solution, like sulfate ion or chloride ion, they have become greater in number. So relative to the plate, the solution now has become more and more negative. So this information you must remember for your A2 chemistry, that whenever oxidation takes place, electrode plate gets negative charge, and whenever reduction takes place, electrode plates gets positive charge. I hope you would have understood this. Let's move on to next example and sketch and do some practice for sketching some more half cell of different types. So next example is how to sketch and label standard half cell for gases. First of all, the gas that we are going to construct, whose half cell, it is standard hydrogen half cell. Now there are two problems if you can consider, if you can just look at one problem for this element. When we are going to construct half cell, one problem we are having: hydrogen is a gas. It is difficult to contain gases and liquids. So what we will have to do, we will have to use some special apparatus to contain hydrogen gas. So whenever you are given some gas or a liquid for making standard half cell, remember to use this glass container that I will display in front of you for retention of gases and liquids. Second problem, in this case we are having hydrogen is a non-metal. Non-metals are non-conductor. Whenever you have been given some non-metal or some non-conductor material, we will have to take the help of which element to act as a conductor? Platinum. Yes, in that case platinum, since platinum is inert, we have to use platinum that can act as an electrode, that can act as a conductor. So how is that? Let's take the example of this half cell. In this half cell, you know already, I have told you, standard hydrogen half cell, it is used as a reference electrode. Why it is used as a reference electrode? Because its C naught value is assumed 0 for all the electrochemical cells. The E naught value of standard hydrogen half cell, it is taken equal to 0 volt. So that is why it is a reference electrode. So what is the only purpose of standard hydrogen half cell? Always remember, it is used to complete the external electrical circuit by connecting it to the second terminal of the voltmeter. That's it. Okay, let's construct standard hydrogen half cell. We will take the beaker, solution containing hydrogen ion. You can use HCl, and the concentration of HCl must be 1 mole per dm cube. Since I told you hydrogen is a non-metal, so you will have to use a conducting metal. Which conducting metal? Inert is used as a standard metal. It is platinum. We will take a thin foil of platinum, and this thin foil of platinum, it is coated with powdered platinum. Why we coat this platinum foil with powdered platinum? Because powdered platinum is used to increase the surface area so that the rate of reaction can be enhanced. Okay, this platinum foil, it is connected to a platinum wire, and this platinum wire and platinum foil, they are surrounded, they are enclosed in a glass container. This is the glass container that will help us in in the retention of gases and liquids. Close to the lower end, just look at, there is also side glass wall that is used to divide the platinum foil into two parts externally only. Why we divide platinum into two parts? So that on the upper part of the platinum foil, hydrogen molecule can adsorb themselves, they can settle themselves, while at the lower part of the platinum foil, hydrogen ion, they will be settled. So what will happen after introducing this glass container, with the help of the opening where there is a valve, with the help of that valve we will inject hydrogen gas at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atm pressure. We will fill in this container. Now what will happen? Hydrogen molecules and hydrogen ions, they will come in equilibrium with each other. When they will come in equilibrium with each other, so two processes can take place: the oxidation of hydrogen molecules into hydrogen ions and the reduction of hydrogen ions into hydrogen molecules. So both these processes will take place and an equilibrium will be established with the help of platinum foil between hydrogen molecules and hydrogen ions. Right now this electrode would neither act as cathode nor anode. Why? Because its potential has been assumed 0. But when you will connect this standard hydrogen half cell with some reactive metal, since metals they lose electron easily, metal half cell will become anode in that case, and standard hydrogen half cell will become cathode. Yes, when you will connect this half cell with standard half cell of any reactive metal, the metal will become anode and this will become cathode. And if you connect this standard hydrogen half cell with some non-metal, non-metal prefer to undergo reduction easily, so non-metal half cell will become cathode, and in that case hydrogen half cell will become anode. So remember, hydrogen half cell can become anode as well as cathode depending on the half cell to which it is connected. Now based on this information, I am giving you another gas, for example chlorine. Sketch and label standard half cell for chlorine gas. You can pause the video and you can practice it yourself, then you can check. It is very simple. Okay students, if you have done, what is the difference between standard hydrogen half cell and standard chlorine half cell? Simply in this case you will have to use 1 mole per dm cube of a solution containing chloride ion. You can use NaCl, you can use HCl, no problem, but it must have a concentration of 1 mole per dm cube. Again, since chlorine is a gas, chlorine is a non-metal, so you will have to use exactly same apparatus, a glass container, platinum foil. Platinum foil must be enclosed by the glass container where we could contain chlorine gas. Chlorine gas will be pumped in at standard temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atm pressure. When you will pump in chlorine gas, chlorine, since it is greenish yellow, so the container will become greenish yellow. Whenever you are sketching this diagram in your exams, no need to make it colored. Simply you can inject chlorine and just label that chlorine has been injected at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and at a pressure of 1 atm. That's it. No need to make it colored. Okay, next thing. Now when chlorine molecules and chloride ions, they will come in contact with each other with the help of platinum foil, and equilibrium will be established. Chlorine will undergo reduction to produce chloride ion, and chloride ion will undergo oxidation to produce chlorine gas. There an equilibrium will be established there, but in this case which process will be dominated? Since chlorine is a non-metal, non-metals prefer to gain electron, so reduction will dominate. When reduction will dominate, you can say this half cell in relation to hydrogen, it will become cathode, because reduction always takes place at cathode, and this half cell would get a charge of positive. Okay, next example that you can be asked to sketch and label. For example, you may be given another metal, sketch and label standard half cell for the element copper. Remember, copper, it is a less reactive metal. Okay, if you have sketched this standard half cell, let's see have you done it correctly or not. It is very simple. Just take a beaker, the solution of copper metal, any soluble salt of copper. Suppose we have taken copper sulfate solution, the concentration of this solution must be 1 mole per dm cube. As I have told you already, no need to make this diagram colored in your exam. Simply in the exam you will just give an idea that there is copper solution having a concentration of 1 mole per dm cube. Since copper is a metal, we will dip in the plate or rod of copper, and when copper will be dipped into its own ionic solution, two processes will be started. One will be oxidation, other will be reduction. Now since copper, as I told you, it is a less reactive metal, so which process will dominate in this case? Reduction will dominate. When reduction dominates, the plate, the electrode, the half cell becomes cathode, and cathode always carries positive charge in a voltaic cell. So this is a complete sketch for copper. Moving on, some other unique type of half cell sometime can be asked in your exams, that you must know how to sketch and label. For example, how to sketch standard half cell for element sulfur. Now what is the problem? Two problem. Number one, sulfur is a solid, and number two, sulfur is a non-metal. Sulfur is a non-metal. We will take help of which element? Platinum. Platinum will act as a conductor. Sulfur is a solid, so how to deal with this problem? You will take a beaker. At the base of the beaker you will you will insert solid sulfur, and this solid sulfur, it would be immersed into a solution of 1 mole per dm cube containing sulfide. You can use sodium sulfide or any other metal sulfide that is soluble. So the concentration of this solution must be 1 mole per dm cube. Now since sulfur is a non-metal, we will introduce platinum metal, but platinum must be introduced in such a way that it must be half buried into the solid sulfur and other portion must be into the solution of sulfide. This must be connected to the platinum wire. Now two processes will start when sulfur solid and sulfur ions, they will come in contact, reduction and oxidation. Which process will dominate in this case? Since sulfur is a non-metal, reduction will dominate. When reduction will dominate, this half cell, it will become cathode and it would carry positive charge. Likewise, one more example I am giving you that you can attempt yourself. It is for the standard half cell of iodine. Again remember, iodine is a non-metal and it is a shiny black solid. Okay, if you have done that, you can see we will take iodine, 1 mole of iodine, and we will immerse it into solution of 1 mole per dm cube iodine. You can use potassium iodide, sodium iodide, but it must have a concentration of 1 mole per dm cube. Platinum will be used again, connected to platinum wire. Two processes will start, reduction of iodine to iodine and oxidation of iodide to iodine. Again reduction will dominate because iodine is a non-metal. This half cell will again become cathode with positive charge. So you must remember, whenever you have been given some element that is solid, some element that is non-metal and solid, you are supposed to construct its half cell like this. Okay, some more examples. For example, if you have been given iron, now there are different half cells that can be made for iron. One half cell, if you are asked to make, it is a half cell of iron containing iron 2 plus solution. You can take iron sulfate or iron 2 chloride solution into the beaker. What you will do in this case, 1 mole per dm cube of iron 2 solution into the beaker, and iron is a metal, it is a reactive metal, so you can dip in iron metal into this solution. Two processes will take place, oxidation, iron will come in equilibrium with its iron 2 ion, and some of the iron 2 ion may undergo reduction as well. Which process will dominate in this equilibrium? Oxidation, because iron is a reactive metal. So that is why this half cell will become anode carrying negative charge. Now second example that you can be asked to construct a half cell for iron containing iron 3 compound, iron 3 chloride, iron 3 sulfate. Now in this case, what will be the difference compared to the previous case? Instead of iron 2 solution, you will have to take iron 3 solution. That is the only difference. And as a result of that, in this half cell, the equilibrium will be established between iron solid and iron 3 ion. This is oxidation, and in the backward direction reduction may take place. Again, in this case, oxidation will dominate because iron is a reactive metal. So that is why in this case again the half cell will become anode, where oxidation has taken place with a negative charge. Now one different half cell that can be asked in the exam, that can be a tricky one, that you must remember to construct this half cell. What you must remember, just look at this example. I am going to explain it, where I will explain one of the standard condition. Now sometimes you can be asked to construct a half cell of iron containing a mixture of iron 2 ion and iron 3 ion, iron 2 ion and iron 3 ion. Now what you are supposed to do in this case, what is the difference in this half cell compared to the previous two that we have constructed right now? In this half cell, into the beaker you will take 1 mole per dm cube each of iron 2 and iron 3, both 1 mole per dm cube of iron 2 and iron 3, both solution must be present into this beaker. Now what is the problem? In this case, we want to establish an equilibrium between two ions of iron. Fe2 plus must be in equilibrium with Fe3 plus. So whenever we have a solution containing same element in two different oxidation state, what you must remember, you cannot dip in that element as an electrode. Why? Now if you will dip in iron in this case, what will happen? Iron will become an active electrode. Iron will start establishing an equilibrium either with Fe2 plus ion or with Fe3 plus ion. So you will get an equilibrium either that we have written on the left hand side above, or an equilibrium that we have written on the right hand side above. So since we want to avoid those equilibria, we want to attain an equilibrium between Fe2 plus and 3 plus. In such cases, whenever you are given such a half cell, what you will have to do, you will have to do platinum, you will have to use platinum as an electrode. Why? Because platinum will act as an inert electrode, and it will help to establish an equilibrium between Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. But remember, whenever an equilibrium is established between between different ions of the same element, what happens? Which process is favored always? Which process dominates always? Reduction always dominates. You can remember this. So when reduction is dominating, it has become obvious that this half cell would become cathode, where reduction has taken place, and it would carry positive charge. I hope I have made you people clear how to construct, how to sketch and label standard half cell of different types that can be asked in your exams. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.